edition of John Long Silver Rails. We're still doing our search and find mission. Let's see what's in this box. Well, here's a lid that doesn't want to come off. This is a black 6462 post-war New York Central gondola. It has a brake wheel on the side, which the later ones might not have. It has the sintered iron metal trucks with a February 1949 builder date. Now here is the green 6462. They came in red, black, green, I forget. I think there was another color, but I can't remember. This one simply says built by Lionel, New York Central emblem. On this side, there's no builder date. On this side, there's no builder date. And right here, there's no brake wheel. Either it never had one, or if it did, it fell off. But you could try to collect all the different color variations of this gondola, including the shorty gondolas and the MPC gondolas. If you did, you'd have quite a collection. Let's see what's next, folks. Now you might be thinking, that guy's crazy. What's he doing with all those trains? Well, let me tell you something, folks. I had 9 children. I raised them. It was a family hobby. It kept me home with the family at night. It kept us busy. We would go in the train room. We would play classical music such as Johann Strauss and others. I had a little fort underneath the layout where the little kids could go and play with their own stuff. It was a wonderful family lifestyle. I highly recommend the model railroading hobby for everybody. For the young families that are out there, but also for the grandpa families. Come on, grandpas and grandmas, get into the train hobby. Treat your grandkids to something creative that requires using the brain to imagine. Get them away from those video games. Now, Lionel made a whole bunch of O27 boxcars. This one is number 63132, orange with black doors. Well, I don't see a builder date on this side. If it's there, I missed it. But this is an operating boxcar. When the plunger is pulled down by the uncoupling track, the little man would pop out. See that? You want to leave that where the man pops because you don't want to keep tension on that spring. Otherwise, it might lose tension. Now, if you look at this car really close, right here, you can see a big buildup of grease and crud on the wheel. That kind of thing should be cleaned, and you should lubricate before you run your train. Now, if you look at this plunger, this part right here is plastic. If you hit that hard, you'll break it, so be careful. This is metal, but this is plastic, and they will break, unfortunately. Here we have the Virginian MPC caboose, 9175, built in the bicentennial year, January 1976. And I seem to have lost the little plastic markers, but that's okay. There's plenty of them available from the parts dealers. It's an attractive little caboose, which I like a lot. That concludes this box, but I meant to say these O27 boxcars, like that orange Santa Fe with the operating door, they came in a lot of varieties, with or without the operating door. A whole nother type of collectible for the smaller train layouts in O27. That's mainly the difference between O and O27, not just the radius of the curves, but also the size of the cars. Now, I think of those smaller O27 Lionel cars as about 1/64 scale, in the neighborhood of the Marx trains, whereas the larger O-gauge Lionel trains, they're not in scale either. They're not 1/48. They're something between 1/64 and 1/48. Don't ask me where. But all these cars on my layout, these are generally, what are they, 1/42nd or something? 1/43rd, I think. It's hard to get 1/48th cars. They would be smaller than these. All right, folks. We have the red gondola, 6462, February 1949 builder date. It has the brake wheel. So we saw the black one, the green one, and now we see the red one. I don't know if they're all three going to be in this video or in a previous one, but there they are. And here's something really nice that MPC came out with. It's hard to read the builder date because I got a light in my eyes, and now I'm seeing a flashlight floating around. 93 maybe, January, built by Lionel, Santa Fe. I guess it's a bunk car. It has a porch light and a little stack, which would be the heater, to keep the workers warm on a cold night. Has a nice vertical brake wheel, which is a nice touch. The plastic trucks with the tab couplers. It's illuminated. It's a nice little car, folks. A fun thing to add to a work train on your layout. This will be the last box we look at tonight. Let's see what's in it. And this is not trains, folks, but train related. Look at this Santa Fe thing. I don't know what scale it is, but it's pretty big for Lionel. Lesney Products, Ford 8 Series, made in England. It says Santa Fe. It's a nice looking truck. It's got a soft side, and it comes with a trailer. How about that, folks? I bought this years ago, back when Sears was still in existence. But I mean a long time ago, probably back in the early 80s or late 70s. And these are things I also picked up. This great big sucker here, Dinky Toys. It has Michigan on it with a label that wants to come off. And yes, it has a roof or a cab that would go on here, which is removable. And I see some parts down here. I think these are the stacks that go on this thing. One would go there, like so. I don't know if I'm going to put them in the holes, but I guess I will. Let's put that one there. Well, let's just show it to you. It's hard to hold it up. It looks like a muffler. This one here looks like an air breather that would go in the hood. And this, I guess, I have one of these, would be an engine side cover. Where the other side cover is, I don't know. I must have lost it. But I think that goes there as a side cover, as you can see. I got these as loads and things for my trains, but this one will be a pretty wide load. Oh, here's the other side cover. I'm lucky. Got them all. Dinky Toys, made in England. Really nice. Front end loader thing. Goes up and down and all around, as you can see. A great load for a flat car. Now, how did I get all this stuff in here? That's the question, isn't it? We'll have to figure this one out, folks. I guess it went something like this. So, when I go through these boxes, I never know what I'm going to find. Remember, I've been doing this since I was about 7 years old. My first Lionel train was actually my father's train, a Lionel 150 pre-war locomotive from about 1922. My second, when I was 8, the first one was when I was 7, was the Lionel kind of a Scout set. I can't remember for sure. It was a 2034, 2035, something like that. Die-cast boiler, 3-position E unit. I still have it. It runs like a tank, folks. I'll show it to you before we close, if I can lay my hands on it, that is. And there it is. Now, this is a restored Scout locomotive because I did what most youngsters do. I painted my engine and messed it up. So when I got older, I said, well, I'll fix it up. So what I did is I like Flyer, so I painted the wheel rims white. I put marker lights on it right there. Here's a marker light that's sticking to the boiler for some reason. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Surely there's a truck here I can drop it into, but I don't see one. Well, I'll put it in the back of this boat. It's a little marker jewel. But you see, I added the marker lights. And I've rebuilt the E unit and stuff like that over the years on this little jewel. This is a die-cast Marks tender from a 333 with Lionel trucks on it. Ideal size for the smaller Lionel locomotives, and the die-cast tender gives you plenty of weight for hauling cars around sharp curves. So if you have a Scout engine that you like, if you can find an old Marks tender like this, of course I painted it, it doesn't have any labeling on it or anything. Now, can this little thing tow this pasture train? I don't know. I'll tell you one thing, when I was a little bitty kid, I had a parakeet, and that parakeet used to run all around my train layout, which is on the floor. Never got ran over, thank God. I used to build barricades and things to run my locomotive through. And I also had an erector set. I had a bunk bed, and I could send cargo from the lower bunk to the upper bunk with my Gilbert erector set. So I had a friend over for the night, and he was on the upper bunk. I could send something up to him, and he could send something back to me. A wonderful experience growing up in the 50s. Let me tell you. Well, we're trying to pull those cars. The unit's trying to, there it goes. Yay, we got it in forward. The wheels are spinning. Contacts are a little sluggish. Usually this thing will take right off, but not today, apparently. I think I'm having a motor brush issue here. I may have to replace the brushes next. It runs great in reverse, doesn't it? We'll have to put this one in the back shop, I guess. So here's the starting run. My name will be running for a while. So that goes back to about 1952-3, folks, when I got it new. So I got this little Scout set when I was 8, after getting the 150 when I was 7. And then about when I was 9, my parents took in 2 foster boys. And that Christmas, I got the Marks Freight Station play set, and they each got a Marks train set. And we had a wonderful time running trains all over the living room floor with our Christmas tree and toys everywhere. So I'm going to conclude now, but we'll include a photograph of the Marks Freight Station. But I have to tell you that the accessories for that station are mostly packed up. So until I find them, I can't really show them to you. If you like, please subscribe and like. Thanks. This is an interesting little item. It's a Model T by Lesney. It was given to me by one of my sons. It was missing the seats. I painted and restored it. And these little figures will fit in it. As I said, it's by Lesney. These are my passengers. This guy here will be the driver, I suppose. And here's his. So we have 2 couples. Maybe they're double dating. Back in the day. Maybe back around 1915, shall we say? Use your imagination. Well, you know, if I had less clumsy fingers, I could put these people in here, couldn't I? But there they are. It just goes to show you, folks, like I said, it was missing the seats. These seats are made from like Plasticville or Lionel, I think it were Plasticville, park benches. Cut the ends off and put them in there, and I've got seats for my little car. Lady, you keep falling over. You must not like your date. Let's try again, lady. What's the matter? Has he got bad breath or something? There we go. Okay. She's still turning away from him, folks. I guess things aren't going well for them on that night of double dating. Maybe McDonald's was out of French fries. Who knows?